So that's good. We have a big song today, and there will be a slight challenge for me to transpose it. But I hope we can get through it. We will do our best, yeah? I actually would like us to start straight away, and I will be still admitting people. But let's go straight into the song. We won't do any warm-ups today. I'll just go straight into the song. And before we do it, how many of you know this particular art song by Rachmaninoff? How many of you are familiar with it? No? Yeah, okay, yes, some of you. I actually had it on my list of repertoire. I wanted to learn it and perform it for ages and never got round to it because it has a piano part that is, for me, for singing and playing at the same time is not too easy. But I thought singing it in our group would be great because it has certain elements of folklore, very bright elements, very characterful elements, and at the same time it is a beautiful art song. Right, and I'm going to mute everyone. Because people are still coming in, I'll just do a little bit in the beginning, introduction of the main melody. And the main melody, I'm going to C minor rather than G, so I'll be transposing, forgive my mistakes. Yeah, it's like a lullaby, it's like a lament. When we go through the song, I will point out these elements of folklore to you, but I think just in the very first opening phrase, we hear it straight away. People are still coming in. Yeah. Good. So, here is the song, straight into it. Yeah? I'm going to show you. Ooh, can you see it? Not yet. There. This is the very, very much simplified version of just the tune. And we're going to go through a phrase without any Russian first. Then we will put text to it. Luckily, our text is very short here. And as you saw in the description, the origin is a poem by a folklorized poem by Taras Shevchenko, who is one of the founders of the classic Ukrainian literature. And he is actually a universally acknowledged poet, as they say on Wikipedia. And it's a translation into Russian, a folklorized translation to sound like a lament. It goes like this. Let's go together. Now with text, this is what we're going to do with the whole song. A phrase with music and then with text. So you will be looking, if you don't read Russian, at the top line. I tried to squeeze it in as the best I could. Latin is on top, Russian is underneath, Cyrillic. Here it is. Polubila я на печаль свою. One more time. Polubila я на печаль свою. Polubila is fell in love, я is I, на печаль to sorrow свою, mine, to my sorrow. To my sorrow, I fell in love. Who with? We are learning in the next line. Next line, two last notes on the first line. Sirati. La la la. La 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 la. One more time. La 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 la. Yeah? See that? So the last two notes on the first line going into the second one. Now with text. Siratинушку бесталанного. I'll do it one more time. Siratинушку бесталанного. Сиротинушку. Siratinushka, this long and beautiful word. Sirata is an orphan. Siratinushka has all these suffixes. That is affectionate, a little orphan, my dear little orphan. Bistalanova comes from talant, which is a talent, but it means a piece of money. Bistalanova means without any money, a poor orphan. She fell in love with a poor orphan. I'm going to read that line one more time, it's tricky. Siratinushku bistalanova. Let's go from the beginning. Pa, 2, 3. Polubila я на печаль свою, сиротинушу бесталанного. So she says she fell in love with this poor guy who is an orphan. The next bit is already heartbreaking. Уж така, no, sorry, no text. La 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 la. One more time. La 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 la. See, there is a forte, it's an outburst of emotion going into piano, into quiet. She folds back into that intimate place. So with the music, with the text, уж такая, sorry, уж такая доля мне выпала. Together. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Уж is so, такая is such, доля is destiny, my path, my destiny, мне, to me, выпала, has fallen. So this destiny has just, it has, this is my destiny, this has fallen, you know, onto my path. Yeah? I'm going from the very beginning. Let's connect these three lines. 1, 2, 3. Полюбила я на печаль свою, сиротинушку бесталанного. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Right? The next material is a bit similar. So we are now on the third line. I'll la 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 through it. Разлучили нас люди сильные. Sorry, I said la la la. Okay, again. La 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 la. So it's in fact the same melody as in the beginning, but it'll be in major. Da 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 da. Yeah. Now with text. Разлучили нас люди сильные. Again. Разлучили нас люди сильные. Разлучили. Took us apart. Нас, us. We were taken apart by whom? Люди, people. Сильные, strong, by the strong of this world. Let's sing this line one more time. Разлучили нас люди сильные. Now we go high. La 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 la. So it's a line that kind of is repeated but goes higher, giving us even more emotion. It's fortissimo, 2 fortes here, right? Let's do this higher line, starting with fortissimo, 2 last notes on line 3. I hope you're following me. Line 3, end of that line, and la 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 Now with text. Увезли его, сдали в рекруты. One more time. Увезли его, сдали в рекруты. Okay? Увезли. To вести is to take someone by driving them, or by kind of in a cart or in a wagon, but basically it's dragged away. Увезли его, him. He was taken away. Сдали, he was sent to в рекруты, as a recruit. He was sent as a soldier. He was taken into the army, and you know that in the Tsarist army, we're talking 1800s, people served for 25 years, so that's the whole lifetime, right? So I'm going again from the very beginning. We're getting into the middle of that song. It gets more and more emotional if we go in. I hope you can follow me with text all the way through, from the beginning. I mean, all the way to what we've done. Your first note here. Let's go. Polubila я на печаль свою, сиротинушку бесталанного. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Next line. Разлучили нас люди сильные, увезли его, сдали в рекруты. So he goes as a soldier. What happens next? A little recitativo. И солдаткая. I'll do it without any text. La 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 la. We on the last bit, last measure, last bar of line 4, where it says forte, what it says и солдаткой. Yeah, can you follow? La 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 la. I'll sing it with text. И солдаткая. One more time. И солдаткая. Next bit. Ta da 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 da. See, it's a similar phrase but lower. Ta da 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 da. This is line 5. Okay? And the text here is одинокая. Again. Одинокая. So rewind back to this forte, last measure, last bar on line 4. И солдаткой. И, yeah? And let's go. И солдаткая, одинокая. So и and солдатка is a soldier's wife. Я, me. So I am a soldier's wife. Одинокой, lonely one. Я, me. I'm a lonely one. I'm a soldier's wife. I'm going to start from the very beginning. Let me just see. How are you coping with this? Eh? All right, yeah? From the beginning. Let's get into the character and everything. Let's go. Полюбила я на печаль свою, сиротинушку бесталанного. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Разлучили нас люди сильные, увезли его, сдали в рекруты. И солдаткая, одинокая. Now here comes a little bit of recitativa. Ta 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 ta. I'll do it one more time, but that wasn't very successful. And la 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 la. One more time. La 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 la. Okay? Text is this. Знать в чужой избе и состареюсь. One more time. Знать в чужой избе и состареюсь. Знать is comes from знать, to know, and in this case it's known. It looks like. В is in, чужой. Other people's, others, чужой, what else can we say? Чужая, alien, different, other people's. Избе is a hut, a house, in someone else's, not in my native, in someone else's house. Состареюсь comes from старый, I will grow old. So as a soldier's wife, as a lonely one, I will get old in someone else's house, right? She got married. She was married to that guy, and he's gone to the army, and now she's in someone else's house and lonely, and that's it. So let's sing this. И солдатка я, одинокая. So this is 1, 2, 3, line 4 from forte, last measure here, last bar. И солдатка я. Okay? Let's go. И солдатка я, one, одинокая, one, знать в чужой судьбе и состареюсь. Sorry, избе. I'll do the last line one more time. Знать в чужой избе и состареюсь. Okay? Any questions so far? We're going fast. How is that? Okay? Good? Yeah. It's a beautiful song. We will go up into the right key eventually, but I think this one is easier for all of us to just learn the tune. I'm going from the beginning. Okay. Let's go. Polubila я на печаль свою сиротинушку бесталанного. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Разлучили нас люди сильные, увезли, восстали в рекруты. И солдатка я, одинокая, знать в чужой избе и состареюсь. The next bit is the climax of the song. La 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 la. Right, you see that fortissimo? Again, ta and do one. La. Beautiful, isn't it? Right? Уж такая доля мне выпала. I'll do it one more time with text. Now. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Уж is just like it's uj doesn't mean anything on itself, but it's emphasizing the meaning. Такая such. Доля, a destiny, a path. Мне, to me, выпала. Happened to me. This is my destiny, right? She just repeats the same line and there is no more text. So let's look at this text all the way through here. Polubila я на печаль свою. Follow it with your eyes. I'm going to read through it. If you want to just clarify some things in pronunciation, you will have apostrophes in the Latin here to indicate soft consonants and all that, okay? Polubila я на печаль свою сиротинушку бесталанного. Уж такая доля мне выпала. And this is the fate. This fate has befallen me. That's the line, yeah? Такая доля. Next one. Разлучили нас люди сильные. Увезли его, сдали в рекруты. So he became a recruit. Next line. И солдаткая, soldier's wife, одинокая, знать в чужой избе и состареюсь. Yeah, well, I will grow old in a stranger's home. And then we have the repetition of that fate phrase. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Ой, this should be мне. Такая мне доля выпала, right? How is that for you? Yeah? So all we need now is to bring everything together, and there is a little vocalise. It happens at the end that is really like a lament. Before we go on, I want to point out one thing to you. I mentioned the gusli. Gusli is a string instrument that is it's flat. You hold it on your knees and you play it like this. So with all these strings, you play chords on it. And in the beginning of the piece, there is this kind of accompaniment. Yeah, so it's imitation. Yeah, like strings going like this. So Rachmaninoff did know what he was doing. It actually is an imitation of a folk instrument. Let's bring it together, yeah, from the beginning. All right, Palu. Okay. Yeah. Polubila я на печаль свою, сиротинушку бесталанного. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Разлучили нас люди сильные, увезли его, сдали в рекруты. И солдаткая, одинокая, знать в чужой избе и состареюсь. Ой, some chord here. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Right? And then we have the vocalise. Look. What do you think? Let's sing the vocalise together. 2, 3. That's the whole song. What do you think? One more time. What do you think? How is are you coping with text and singing the whole thing through? Yeah. I suggest we sing it in this key. We've done well. Yeah, I think we've nailed it in 20 minutes. And then I will take us to the original key, and there is a way we can sing it for high voices and low voices. We can sing in the original key. It'll be easier for me to accompany. At least it'll be closer to what Rachmaninoff wrote. So back to C minor now, back to where we were. And beautiful tune, isn't it? Beautiful song. All the way through with the vocalise, and let's try and get really emotional to this. I don't know if you get a sense of weeping here. Oh, that weeping thing. In the Russian laments, it's much more extreme. It goes much more, the amplitude is much higher, but still, this is a classical piece with elements of lament. Okay. Полюбила я на печаль свою сиротинушку бесталанного. Уж такая доля мне разлучили нас люди сильные, увезли его, сдали в рекруты. И солдатка я, одинокая, знать в чужой избе и состарюсь. Уж такая доля мне выпала. All right. What do you think? Impressions? Yeah?
Yeah, very nice. Can you just talk through the words in ordinary spoken Russian?
Okay.
Without it being like a pronunciation.
Right, okay, without stretching as well, right? Without stretching?
Without doing the kind of pronunciation thing, just speak it as you would normally.
Okay.
Is that all right? Sorry.
Let's see. Okay. Now. Полюбила я на печаль свою сиротинушку бесталанного. Уж такая мне доля выпала. Разлучили нас люди сильные. Увезли его, сдали в рекруты. И солдаткой я, одинокой я, знать в чужой избе и состарюсь. Уж такая мне доля выпала.
All right, thank you.
Yeah?
That really helps just put the words in the right kind of sounding way, because when it's pronounced in that manner, you neither sing like that or talk like that normally.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
So,
I've tried to do less. I know I do it a bit, like I exaggerate it a bit. Okay.
For us to learn it, I would just slow it down, but not overpronounce.
Okay, let me do it one more time.
Thank you.
Yeah? Let me do it one more time. Follow with your eyes. I will show it to you here in the music, so you kind of get used to it when we sing it. Полюбила я на печаль свою сиротинушку бесталанного. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Разлучили нас люди сильные. Увезли его, сдали в рекруты. И солдаткой я, одинокой я, знать в чужой избе и состареюсь. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Yeah?
Yeah, that helps.
Great.
It helps me anyway. Thank you.
Great. Okay, here we go. So now I suggest a sound rather than actual word, singing sound, vocalizer style, musical genre. Stuff is happening. All right. Okay, right. I may not respond to that now because I'd like us to try singing it in the original key. What happens? It's in G minor. So look at this. It has been transposed for sopranos and mezzos, and I posted on Facebook. I posted a male, a baritone performance of this song, which also works interestingly, although it is a profoundly female story, you know, for Russia of that time. So here is how it can be done. You can sing either here. Polubila я на печаль свою. And it goes up to here. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Up to the top G, right? Уж такая. Or you can do the whole thing an octave lower. So that's really low voice. So for mezzos, for lower voices, that could be an option. Can we try that, please? I think it would, at least I'll be able to go closer to the original accompaniment as much as I can. Let's see. That will be the first note, pa, pa, right? What do you think? Who sang up there? I see a couple of sopranos here in the group. Yeah! Lower?
Polina, can you define vocalise in the sense that it's being used here?
Oh, right. This is my Russian terminology. A vocalise is something that has no text, and it's like...
Okay, because yeah, I mean something completely different in jazz, so it's a completely...
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I think I knew this, but I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, we even have pieces called a vocalise, something without any text, you know, in Russia. There may be a different term for it in Western terminology.
No, I think it's the same in Western classical music, but it's different in jazz, I think.
Right, okay. Yeah, I don't know jazz that well. I know classical, but with my Russian education, that's my term. The term, basically, it's no text, right? And here, it's very clever because there's no more emotion. I mean, there's no more text, there is no more words. She said it all. And finishing on that high outburst is not quite enough. it goes really tearful at the end when there is actually no text and it's just like, oh, it's really crying, isn't it? Oh. To me, it sounds like crying. Yeah? So we have time to just do it a couple more times. What do you think?
Well, Polina, you know what it is? Vocalese with ending in ESE has words, but vocalese ending in ISE has no words. I looked up the wrong Wikipedia entry. I didn't realize there are two different words.
Oh, there is a verb and there is a noun. To vocalize is one.
Well, no, they're both nouns, but one ends in ISE, the other one ends in ESE. And I think they're both nouns, vocalese. The one that ends in
the French
ESE
spelling
has
is
words.
yeah.
The one that ends in ISE doesn't have words. So you're right. Take it back. Strike that comment.
Okay. Okay. Now we know. Now we know. You see, I've learned something too. Right. Now with the keys, do you want to do one more time C minor and then back to G? One more time C minor to the lower key, to the first one. I know that some of you can do that and some others can do the other one. So let's do C minor first and back to G. What do you think? It's a Rachmaninoff. I brought you a Tchaikovsky once, an easy Tchaikovsky. We only did a bit, but this one is a whole piece. So I thought it would be interesting for us to do something like that. So C minor it is, one more time. Right. Polubila я на печаль свою, сиротинушку бесталанного. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Разлучили нас люди сильные, увезли его, стали в рекруты. И солдатка я, одинокая, знать в чужой избе и состареюсь. Уж такая доля мне выпала. Okay, and now to G minor, to the original one. High and low, jump around. I'll sing in the high one. Sorry, it gets a bit squeaky, but at least I can stretch my vocal muscles up to there. Okay. Ready? Sit upright, let's give it full emotion. That's your note, yeah? Papa. Полюбила я на печаль свою, сиротинушку бесталанного. Уж так Okay? All right. So in that course, I promised, in this run of Sing With Me sessions, I promised Rachmaninoff and I promised a bit of Shostakovich. So in the Yiddish session on, where are we? On Monday, I'm bringing a lullaby, a Shostakovich, also with composed with the same idea of incorporating folk elements into classical writing. Very different folk elements, obviously, because it's Jewish, Yiddish folk elements, and it's the same kind of connection. We may not go through the whole song, but we will at least look at it and look, maybe if we may not have time, but I'll post some folk examples that are close to that song. On that note, I think, do you want to do it one more time? We have time for one more run through, yeah? Enjoy it one more time. I'll do it in G minor. I'm sorry, it's easier. At least I can look at the music. Okay, good. Yeah. So the next Russian sessions will be folklore and easier, fun, kind of waltzy things. Something a bit less involved in terms of learning music, but more about letting go and enjoying. Okay. The next Russian one. Here. One more time. Yes. Here comes Rachmaninoff. Beautiful piece, isn't it? And these choir arrangements work beautifully as well. There are a couple of choir arrangements. There is one on the website. I hope you listen to it. So, good. Well, I hope you enjoyed this slightly unusual session today, and thanks for joining. I'll see you next time, right?
Loved it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Yeah.